If you click play on this video, it's probably because something feels off. Not my life is falling apart off. More like you're working hard, you're meeting your KPIs, you're getting through the days, but you're not operating the way that you know you're capable of operating. Maybe your energy suddenly drops at the same time every afternoon. Maybe you're waking up tired even after a full night in bed. Maybe your focus is slipping and you can't stay locked in the way that you used to. Maybe you're training and eating healthy, but your physique isn't changing, your recovery is low, and you're starting to wonder if you're missing something. And I'm here to tell you that you probably are. My name is Andrés Preschel. I'm a physiologist, neuroscientist, and I'm the founder at Know Your Physio. I have the pleasure of working with Fortune 100 CEOs, world champion athletes, busy parents, and ambitious entrepreneurs. People who carry a lot, lead a lot, and frankly, don't have time to waste on health advice that sounds good on paper, but doesn't work in practice. Now, before we go any further, I want you to do one thing. Take a deep breath. Move to an environment free of distractions and stay present with me for just the next 5 minutes. Because if you've been trying to figure things out on your own for your health, you've probably been doing what most high performers do, which is consume more information. More podcasts, more protocols, more opinions, more stacks, and biohacks. Huberman says one thing, someone else says the opposite. One person tells you to go low carb, another one tells you carbs are essential, one tells you to train harder, another says you're overtraining. And the result is you have access to unlimited content, but you don't have clarity on your unique scientific context. You don't know what matters most for you. You don't know your physio. And that's the problem. It's not that you're not disciplined. It's not that you're not capable. It's that your physiology is as unique as your fingerprint. So what worked for someone else might completely backfire on you. And you never know until you measure it. Now, before I explain how my team and I might have a solution for you, I want to tell you a little bit about my personal journey and how I fixed myself. The inception of Know Your Physiology. Know Your Physio exists because I had a problem I needed to solve. For a decade, I relied on Adderall to perform. I was diagnosed with ADHD at a very young age, and I was operating on the highest prescribed dose of Adderall, 60 milligrams XR every single day. Sometimes I take 2 capsules a day. I thought I was a mentally handicapped kid with a broken brain. At least that's what my parents and teachers led me to believe. And then, by the luck of the universe, I came across a concept that literally changed my entire life. Neuroplasticity, this idea that your brain is malleable, that you have agency, that if you understand the mechanisms of your physiology, your psychology, the world within you, and you apply the right habits and behaviors, you can rebuild your focus, your energy, have an incredible physique in the process, and bring your genius to life. After applying some of these concepts for a few short months and successfully getting off of medication, Adderall in this case, I was able to step into my excellence and I became obsessed with the science underlying my personal development. This was exercise physiology, psychology, nutrition, and neuroscience. And I ended up going to school and studying at the University of Miami, majoring in exercise physiology, minored in psychology, and pursued a master's in physiology and nutrition. And I trained under the mentorship of a Harvard physician that I was shadowing, doing an incredible project on lifestyle medicine and hunger hormones. And during my undergraduate studies, we published a book together in Spanish on hunger hormones. Then I went on to pursue my master's in biomedical neuroscience at the University of Florida, returning to the inception of my journey. But what matters is what happened next. I applied my knowledge in the real world with people who have real stakes, folks that are as obsessed with what they do as I am, which, by the way, is what brought me to these amazing circles of people. I started working with CEOs leading major companies, founders who are under constant pressure, athletes who can't afford to have an off day, parents trying to be present while managing both their children and their careers. And after working with hundreds of high performers, one thing became abundantly clear. Most people aren't failing because they lack motivation. They're failing because they're trying to solve what is a data-driven problem with guesswork. They read an article, they try a diet, buy a supplement, change their training, change routines, and they hope it works. But without knowing what's actually going on inside of your body, doing comprehensive labs, measuring your biomarkers, your recovery capacity, sleep, HRV, autonomic nervous system health, your sleep quality and efficiency, you're trying to reach an unknown destination without a GPS. And even if you do have the information, most people still fall short because they're missing the single biggest ingredient. It's accountability. Not a motivational quote, but real accountability, the kind that makes execution inevitable even when life gets hectic. And that's why we built Know Your Physio the way that we did. We're not here to give you generic health advice that you can find online. We're not here to give you a supplement with our discount code. We are here to replace uncertainty with confidence, to take everything you think you know about your body and your health, the gut feelings, the patterns, the frustrations, and connect it to objective data that's true to you and only you, so you finally understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. And then we build a clear path forward, a frictionless health system that is congruent with your lifestyle, and we hold you to it. I'm not sure if you've read the book Atomic Habits, but if you have, you know that there's 3 levels of change that a human being can accomplish. There's habits, which are actually a relatively superficial layer, and there's systems, it's like your routines and how you do what you do. And then the deepest level of change, which is effectively what you'd be signing up for here, is change at the level of your identity, something that takes time and some hard work. Anyway, here's what it looks like to work with us. We start by laying the groundwork with testing. Not basic labs, not surface level metrics, but rather comprehensive blood work with over 150 biomarkers, body composition with DEXA, the gold standard, comprehensive genetic testing when appropriate, VO2 max testing when performance and longevity are the goal, wearable-based recovery metrics like HRV, sleep efficiency, resting heart rate, fitness zones, etc., so we can see how your body is responding in real time. And here's the part that most people miss. You shouldn't have to coordinate any of this on your own. Let us do what we're good at so that you can have more time and energy to do what you're good at. Our client success managers order and facilitate all of your testing, scheduling, logistics, follow-ups. Because if you're a high performer, the last thing you need is another project. This is how we remove friction so you can actually execute and leverage your health to do more of what you're good at with clarity, with presence, sustainably. Your data will be reviewed on a quarterly or monthly basis by our medical team, led by Dr. Joel Wusso, who was our Columbia and Cornell trained chief medical officer. And I want you to really understand why all of this matters. Health data without expert analysis is like having financial reports without a CFO. You might have the numbers on an Excel spreadsheet, but you don't have a strategy. And if you've ever tried to interpret your labs by yourself, you'll already know how confusing it gets, especially if you start having an endless conversation about it with ChatGPT. So our job is to make this simple, actionable, and sustainable. We interpret your data, we identify what's holding you back, we understand the unique intricacies of your life so that we can build a frictionless plan that fits your physiology and lifestyle, and we dial in the training, the recovery, the nutrition, supplementation, sleep, home biohacking, you name it. No cookie cutter plans, but rather precision is what this is all about. And the plan is only half of it because you don't need another plan, you need implementation. So we built a HIPAA-compliant health dashboard and remote monitoring system so that you can track your metrics in real time, adjust fast, and get the feedback and accountability you need when it counts. If your sleep drops, we're gonna see it. If your stress spikes and your HRV is up, we're gonna see that too. If travel throws off your routine or circadian biology, we'll adjust. If your training is too intense or not effective, we correct it before you hit a plateau. We're not guessing, we're not waiting for things to get bad. We're being as proactive as we can be, the way that high performers operate in every other area of their life and business. And we're not gonna leave you alone with it and wish you the best. We have a world-class team working with you around the clock, including a dedicated client success manager. So the plan actually gets implemented. You know exactly what you need to do on a daily and weekly basis. And we hold you accountable with these deliverables as your physiology transforms. As your life changes, so does your data. What we're really after is verifiably stronger health markers like VO2 max, HRV, body composition, testosterone, cholesterol, sleep quality and efficiency, and of course, these subjective things that you care about every day, such as your energy, your focus, your mood, your resilience, and your presence. Imagine for a second waking up feeling refreshed without needing your morning elixir, your caffeine, nicotine, or another stimulant that might help you get through the day. Imagine making it through the entire day with sustained energy, not a spike and then a crash, having to rely on stimulants in the morning and then sedatives in the evening to feel regulated. Imagine the difference that being more present and energized in your business and at home would do for you, for your coworkers and for your family, and for your life, because your biology is finally supporting your ambition instead of fighting it. That's what Know Your Physio is designed to deliver. That's our promise. Now, I want to be honest. We don't work with everyone. We're boutique. We're not built to scale. We only serve a small number of people per quarter. And we do that on purpose because if you're a high profile, you shouldn't be treated like a number. We can't afford to do this rushed, and neither can you. So if you're looking for a quick fix or a generic program that you can do when you have the time, this isn't for you. However, if you're serious about reclaiming your edge, you want clarity, a personalized strategy based on your data, your health history, and your lifestyle, and a team that will hold you accountable where it counts, until the results become your new baseline, then here's the next step. Click the button below and fill out the eligibility form. And if you're selected, you'll be invited on a free health audit with me. On that call, we'll look at where you are right now, where you want to go, and whether Know Your Physio is the right fit to get you there. So don't wait for later. Later doesn't show up on the calendar. Click the button, submit your application form, and let's get to work.